lino print starter kit. Ooh. I like it. Ooh. This video is me testing out this lino print starter kit that I bought from, where did I buy this? I forgot the name of the shop. I got it when I was in Sweden. We went to, all right, I cannot for the life of me remember the name of the shop where I got this from, but I'll leave it somewhere on the screen once I finally do remember. Lino print is something that I find so beautiful whenever I see videos of other people doing it. It's something that I really wanted to try for such a long time. So when I saw this kit, I decided to take it as an opportunity to give it a shot. Let's unbox it so you can see what's in here. All right, this is a block print starter kit by Krista Tolstrup from the Creative Company. I've never heard of them. This is my first time trying this out. This video is going to be a lot less fleshed out than my Harry Potter one, which I took almost just 2 weeks brainstorming that one before I even got started on it. For this one, I'm literally just opening this for the first time with you guys, and we're gonna figure it out together. It's gonna be that kind of video. Okay. Ooh, I took a quick look at all the videos that came with the kit, the instructional videos for all of this, and I think I get the gist of it. I always say this, overconfident when I start, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm not all that interested in the designs that come with the kit, and I only have one of these carving blocks. Oh dear, I almost dropped utility knife. I only have one of the carving blocks, so I don't really want to waste it doing a design that I don't really want to make. So I'm gonna spend a few minutes brainstorming on what design I actually want to make and keep, and possibly reuse, you know? That's the whole point of making a lino print. Like, you get a design that you could print over and over again on paper or possibly even on fabric, which is something I'm super interested in. I did purchase something like this in the past. This I got from like some random, one of those stationery stores in Japan back in, my goodness, I want to say 2016. It was a while ago, and like I've used bits of it. Well, not me, the kids have used bits of it to create their own little stamps, which was really fun, but I never really got into it like I should have. So I will use this to practice on before I move on to a larger print on the carving block. I'll be honest, I got kind of bored drawing designs and trying to figure something out, so I just doodled a little flower design very quickly onto this carving block so I can practice and get a better idea on what the design should look like actually. So there's two ways to go about this. You can either carve around the design and you would have like a negative image, or you could carve your design and get like more of a stamp feel, if that makes sense. So here, as you can see, you can either carve away anything that isn't the design, and then that way when you stamp it, you end up with a negative image, or you could carve around your design and end up with a positive image. Oh my gosh, I still don't know if that makes sense. We're just gonna wing it. That's just the mood I am in today. Also, I realized while I was drawing this, I'll probably need to change before I actually start using the inks, because what in my mind thought it was a good idea to wear all white when working with inks. I finished carving out my practice design, just a simple little flower with some leaves. I changed into something that is a little bit more crafting appropriate. Let's try to print. So far, using the tools, I prefer the one that I got from Japan many years ago versus the one that came with the kit, mostly because of the interchangeable heads. It kind of gets dislodged the more I use it, and I don't know if it's because I'm not pushing it deep enough into the tool, but I also am careful in doing that because I don't want to cut myself. Although having like different sizes is super helpful because I can quickly switch from carving out like the bigger areas to doing like finer details. It doesn't really give you any instructions as to like how much ink to put. I don't even know what kind of ink this is. Is this too much? I mean, it's not a very big design. Ooh, that is satisfying. Ooh, that is pretty. I left this whole chunk blank. I mean, you know, I didn't carve it away because I can just cut it off later, but oops, got it on my paper there. Anyway, I can just carve that away later, but I really wanted to see what it would look like with like a margin. Let's see how it looks on paper. Okay, moment of truth. Oh, you know what? That is cute. That's kind of cute. I like it. Let's try that again. This time, I'm gonna put it right on top. Ooh, wow. Really happy with that practice run. Oh, damn it. Reveal. Ooh. I want to see if I can create like a repeating pattern. Right, and do not roll the stamp pad, the lino print right on your working surface. And voila, we have a unique little bookmark. The print isn't great, admittedly, because like I said, I didn't carve it with the intention of making a repeating pattern, but I think it still looks kind of cool for a fun little experiment. Okay, now the question is, what should I make for the giant carving block? That needs a little bit more thought. So yesterday I had a fun little play. I basically spent the rest of the afternoon after I stopped filming just carving things like this little face. I tried, did I show you this? This little cat, a flower, random things just to test out my carving skills. And then I spent another afternoon kind of like doodling so I could get a better idea on what I wanted for my final piece. And what I kind of ended up with was this sketch. I don't know why, I'm so enamored with these birds right now. As I'm drawing this, the thing that I'm being super mindful about is trying to make my curves a little larger because I know I'm not very good at carving tiny intricate details yet. So I'm trying to make the shapes a little bigger. I'm also trying not to be so precious about my art materials. Like the reason why I did so many tests before even testing going with the big block is because I only have one of the big block. And I kept thinking like, oh, sayang, like, oh, I don't want to waste it. But again, that is the trap of perfectionism. You will never finish anything if you're constantly thinking you can't do it unless it's perfect. You can't do it unless it's good. It has to be a certain way. And that should never be the point. I believe it's more beneficial to at least try. So if it doesn't work out, that's okay. At least I tried. I would love it if by the end of this project, I'd be able to put some kind of print onto this bag, which I've been using as my laptop bag. I would love a little bit of art, you know. This is being very ambitious of me. I don't even know if I can carve this thing, so let us see. I actually downloaded a Domestika class on how to do block printing, and in that course, she recommended using tracing paper to get your print onto the block. So I'm going to try that. Okay, looks so cute. Let's start with that. And then if I like it, we'll do a second one on the other half of the block. So whatever you put on the tracing paper and transfer onto the block is going to be like a mirror image. And also you don't want anything too sharp to trace this on, because you don't want to tear the paper or to mess up your block before you even carve it. Let's see if that even works. Oh, hey! Okay, okay. What? That really worked. All right. I'm so happy. Okay. Now the hard part, the carving. Whew, this is nerve-wracking. All right, it was a little bit of a struggle to cut this out of the block, but here is the stamp so far. So what I realized has really been working for me is to do like a preliminary carve, sort of, and then I'm going to test it and see what needs to be taken away and what changes I want to make. So we're gonna do that. Oh, it looks so cool. That's pretty cute. Okay. Oh, I didn't get enough ink on the tip here. I think that's what happened there. I think I need to put more ink. I like it. Okay, okay. I really like how this turned out. I think I will clean up a little bit more here to leave more blank space. And then when I'm putting on ink, be more mindful to add a lot here so you really see like the shadow. But so far, I really like it. I am shocked at how well this turned out. I like the idea. Where's my doodle? Hang on. Oh, here it is. All right. Of course, it's at the very bottom. So the idea is it's like mid-flight with its wings pointed down, which is why you have the back wing here that I drew in as just a shadow. And I do really like how it looks in the drawing, but I feel like as a stamp, does that come through? I think I'll clean up this one and I'm gonna make a second one. And the second one will be more like this one with its wings spread out. I finished the second bird design And halfway through, I decided that I wanted to do like a more negative print where the design is like in white and then the rest of the bird is in black. I just like really want to experiment with this. Here is the carved out design. Let's ink it up and see what changes need to be made. Also, I did not bother cleaning off the acetate that I've been using. I just kind of like kept adding ink, and I don't know if that was why it wasn't going on so evenly. Most likely that was why. So I cleaned it off. So we're starting off with a fresh piece of acetate. I think when I pressed it down, I may have dragged it a little bit and I felt it spring back. Ooh, that is interesting. Okay, you know what? I kind of like it. I don't know that there's a lot that I would change. I will make these deeper here because I want those lines to really show up. This is what I meant by I accidentally pulled a little hard on the stamp and then it snapped back when I let go, so it dragged this bit of the print. But I'm happy with that. I'm happy with this and the texture here. I like it. I'm so happy with how these two turned out. I think the next step is going to be to buy some fabric paint so I can print this onto my canvas, but I'm gonna call it a night for today. All right, the day is finally here. There was a huge earthquake in Cebu, and because of that, obviously we've all been really busy, but also at the same time, shipments were delayed. So the fabric ink that I ordered online took a little longer than expected to get here. But it's finally here, so we can get started on printing on this bag. So a couple of changes. First, I found this old piece of glass from this clock that I'm no longer using, and this is what I shall be using to put the ink on, because it was really annoying how when you would roll the brayer, I learned that's what this is called, when you would roll the brayer onto the acetate, it kept lifting, so that was really annoying. So I think having a piece of glass which is heavier is going to help with that. I also ordered a larger brayer when I ordered the fabric paint so that I can use one for rolling the ink onto the stamp pad and then use the second one to kind of get it even onto our project. I have been researching about how to properly do the application of these, because something I've been struggling with throughout this process is knowing how much ink to put and how to know when it's ready to roll onto the stamp pad, which is why when I stamp it onto our paper, it always came out kind of patchy. And while I did really enjoy that look, it gives it this very like handmade rustic feel, I would like it to be a bit of a more even application on my bag. From all of my research, I've learned that the more times you apply ink onto your stamp, the more opaque it's going to get. As you've seen from all of the testing that we've done, you put it on the first time, it's a little bit patchy. You do it the second time, it's a lot better. So we are going to do that a couple of times on some scrap paper first before we get to the actual bag. And also, just to prep this bag, I've put a piece of card underneath to make it a little bit sturdier for stamping. All right, that's all the prep I've done. Let's get to work. I've temporarily moved the bag out of the way just so we have some room. Okay. Ooh. So what I've learned from all the videos that I've watched is you just want to roll it until it feels tacky, which I wasn't doing. I was letting it be slippery and then rolling it onto the stamp. And that is wrong. But now we know. It should sound different. Also, what I like about this new brayer I bought is that it's white. So when I apply ink onto it, I can actually see if the ink is getting applied on evenly. Okay. And I've learned that you want a lot of ink. So even though this has the design completely covered, it's not going to go on evenly still. This needs more ink. Okay. That's okay. I'm going to be using this as scrap paper for rolling later. And then I shall use the original one to make sure it's nice and even on the design. Oh, that's much more even, I think. All right, I'm gonna do it again and let's see if we're ready to move on to the canvas. In my mind, I'm just really saturating the ink pad. Ooh, and it's shinier. One more time. Be careful. When I cut this out of the block, you can see that I kind of cut it at an angle because it was really hard for me to get through the block. And because of that, it's hard for me to get pressure evenly on the corners. Wow. Oh. Yeah, okay. Okay, be careful with the edge. It's a little bit dirty. Maybe I can clean that off. My hands are now covered with ink. So yay, let's hope that does not affect it. I was playing around with the design. I'm thinking this one over here, and then this one this way. Yeah? How does that look? Or like they're both flying in the same direction? Yeah, that looks cute. I think we'll do that. I think that's definitely the sound it's supposed to be making. Here goes nothing. Oh wow, I already got it. I already made a mess. Oh well, you know what? It's not the end of the world. Gently pushing it on. The nice thing about doing it on cloth is it doesn't seem to be moving around as much as on the paper. Ooh, what do you think? Oh, I should have put a little bit more here on top, but not bad, honestly. Cool, cool. Let's move on to the second one. I couldn't help myself. I put a bit of stain remover on the bit that I didn't mean to ink. And it smeared just a little bit. I love that for me. I also washed my hands because I was getting ink on everything. The tote bag, the camera. Okay, here we go. That looks way more even. I think that's because there's more ink on here. I wasn't recording on the second attempt. Aside from missing the paper and making a mess on my desk, which we are trying to avoid because I'm gonna put the tote right on here and it's gonna smear on the tote. Look how much more dark and opaque the print is on this second one. All right, so it really helps to already have a lot of ink on your glass before you even get started. And I understand what they mean by the ink should be tacky, because like when I'm rolling it now, I can actually feel resistance. And sometimes it's so tacky, it sticks onto the stamp and the stamp lifts off of the paper while I'm rolling. Do you hear that? I think that's what it's supposed to sound like. Actually, I prefer to just do this. Woo! Hooray! All right, I got cleaned up. I'm happy with how this looks. I'm gonna give it a couple of hours to dry and then try to remove the stains that I put everywhere. But yay! Next time you see me, it shall be time for the final reveal. And here you have the finished bag with its print on it. I honestly really love how it turned out, considering this was just my first time lino printing. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a bit of like a bright spot right here. That's where I accidentally got ink on it, and I tried to take it out with stain remover. And I'm not sure if the stain remover bleached the bag or if this bag just really is in desperate need of a wash. I don't know if you know this, but if you buy these bags from Muji, you're not supposed to wash them because they'll ruin their shape. So thinking about that, like, was this the original color of the bag? And if so, that's kind of disgusting, honestly. I chose this ink in particular because it is compatible on all fabrics. It is a permanent fabric ink. There's no need to heat set it, so there's no need to iron afterwards. And it's water-based, so it's easier to clean everything. According to their website, you will need 4 to 7 days before you can wash the item, which is a lot less time than if you were using an oil-based ink. Maybe I will be giving this bag a wash after 4 to 7 days, and hopefully everything will be one shade of white. But aside from that, this was a fun learning experience for me. I'm so glad I tried it out, and I can't wait to carve out more designs and possibly build on this design. I even purchased another carving block just for that purpose. So if that's something that you would love to see more of, if you have any ideas on what we can add to this design, then please leave me a comment down below, and then maybe we shall do that in our next video. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Oh, my foot fell asleep. Oh no. Oh no. I can't reach the camera. Ah!